Duo fish. Salutations, everyone! Our planet is host to an immense variety of life, much of which is a large variety of plants that cover the globe. Considering how large the planet is and the multiple types of climates that exist, it wouldn't be hard to imagine that there are a few bizarre and uncommon plants out there that many have never even heard of.
Number 15.
Romanesco. Frequently called Romanesco broccoli, Romanesco is actually more closely related to cauliflower, though all broccoli, cauliflower, and kale are part of the same species. The most visually striking part of Romanesco is the fact that it follows an approximately fractal design. If M.C. Escher and Fibonacci were given the chance to create an edible plant together, Romanesco would probably be close to the final design. The genetic reasons for Romanesco's appearance are currently unknown, though I don't doubt that if we had more vegetables that looked like this, children wouldn't sit at the dinner table turning up their noses quite as often.
Number 14.
The dragon blood tree. Dracaena cinnabari and Dracaena draco are two species of dragon blood tree alive today that we know of which live on islands on opposite sides of Africa. Both are endangered considering their habitats are small islands with either a subtropical climate or desert-like climate with barely any rain. Dragon blood trees get their really cool common names thanks to the bright red resin that they secrete, which has been used for dyes and herbal remedies since ancient times. As a matter of fact, its uses range from curing diarrhea to being used as varnish on wood for violins. That's not to say that dragon blood resin actually works as a cure-all though, it's just what natives have taken for hundreds of years. Unfortunately, due to the desertification of Africa along with the traditional uses for the trees, the dragon blood tree grows more endangered each decade.
Number 13.
The Lithops. Part of the ice plant family, Lithops are a succulent plant native to southern Africa. That's right, an ice plant in Africa. Aside from the infuriating fact that Lithops has a name ending with an S even when referring to individuals, Lithops is an incredibly interesting species of plant. A Lithops grows as a small plant standing just a few inches tall, and each individual Lithops only has 2 leaves, or 4 when they grow 2 new ones to replace the old ones. The 2 leaves are actually what look like the stem of the plant split into 2 and contain the water that keeps Lithops alive in an arid climate where they usually receive just a few inches of rain in a year. Because of their small stature and dark green to brown color, Lithops often fool people and animals into thinking that they are simply rocks or pebbles when growing next to rocks. Considering the fact that most animals don't ingest rocks, it seems to be a sound strategy. The poor little guys are so well evolved to absorb water that they can easily be overwatered by a compassionate plant caretaker and will continue taking up water until they rupture their leaves and die.
Number 12.
Hooker's lips. Hooker's lips, otherwise known as Psychotria elata, is a plant best known for its flower's resemblance to lips coated in an egregious amount of lipstick. Actually, this resemblance to lips only lasts for a short amount of time as the true flower emerges from inside the lips after a few days. Another fun fact about Hooker's lips is that Psychotria, the genus of the plant, gets its name due to the fact that many of the plants in the genus produce DMT, a psychedelic chemical. So yeah, I suppose if you ingest some of this plant, you may indeed believe that the plant has kissable lips, though I doubt it will be the center of your attention while a rainbow Godzilla rides a strawberry in your hallucinations.
Number 11.
The Cobra Lily. It's rather odd to think of Northern California or Oregon as places rife with exotic plant life, considering that they are rather close to large human settlements. Lurking in bogs near the coast are Darlingtonia californica, otherwise known as the Cobra Lily. Just looking at the way the pictures of the Cobra Lily grow is enough to understand where it gets the name cobra, though it is in no way related to lilies, so the second part of the name was just poorly named by someone who was obviously not a botanist. Just underneath the head of the cobra-shaped pictures is an entrance that attracts hungry insects that would enjoy eating the nutritious sap that the Cobra Lily excretes. Getting out after entering the Cobra Lily is rather difficult, however, as the walls of the plant are nearly translucent, confusing prey with false exits until they are finally guided down to the water with digestive enzymes near the bottom of the cobra-shaped leaves. It's basically the nightmare version of an insect funhouse that ends with digestion.
Number 10.
The Titan Arum. A plant with a flower which can be considered the largest in the world, the Titan Arum flower stands 9 feet tall and 3 feet wide on average. It takes the Titan Arum around 7 to 10 years to bloom for the first time and 2 to 10 years to bloom after that. That may sound unfortunate considering how incredible such an enormous flower is to behold. However, the benefits of the Titan Arum's rare flower spawning are easy to see. Well, smell. Unfortunately, after the flower blooms it releases a range of sulfur compounds and other smelly chemicals which produce attractive scents such as body odor, rotting fish, sweaty socks, and mothballs, though particularly revolting to humans. Pollinating bees native to Sumatra apparently adore the plant and quickly pollinate it in the 3 days that the flower lasts.
Number 9.
The Welwitschia. Upon seeing pictures of the Welwitschia, you may believe you are viewing a pile of discarded plant waste or banana leaves. However, closer inspection of the plant allows you to learn some fascinating things. Found growing only in the Namib Desert of southwestern Africa, the Welwitschia gets its name from the Austrian botanist Friedrich Welwitschia, who first catalogued it. Growing into a large plant in one of the hottest and driest climates in the world brings with it a host of challenges, the most obvious being gathering water in a place where it only rains a few milliliters a year. Luckily for the Welwitschia, its two leaves are specialized for collecting water in the form of fog that forms in the morning hours where it lives. Yes, I did say two leaves, as the Welwitschia only possesses two leaves that continue to grow over time. Not only that, but many Welwitschia are believed to be centuries old and are considered living fossils due to the fact that they are not flowering plants, but instead produce cones like carnivorous trees. I must say that its nickname in the language Afrikaans, Tweeblark Annie Dude, wins the most creative and hilarious nickname award in this video.
Number 8.
The bug plant, Roridula. When thinking of a carnivorous plant, everyone imagines a Venus flytrap or perhaps a large pitcher plant that trap prey and digest them, absorbing their nutrients in the process. Of course, there are other variations of carnivorous plants as well, but none quite like the Roridula. The Roridula has a sticky resin that can trap insects all over its leaves and stem, but it lacks the enzymes that allow all other carnivorous plants to digest insects. Instead, it forms one of the coolest symbiotic relationships between a plant and an insect. Roridula, aptly named the bug plant, traps insects, and the Pamaridia insects which live on the plant then eat the trapped insects and excrete waste, which the Roridula uses for nutritional benefit. The capsid bugs that live on the plant spend their entire lives in the plant and even have feet specialized to keep them from getting caught in the resin that Roridula captures other insects with.
Number 7.
The snow plant. Unlike most plants, this red parasitic plant is actually unable to photosynthesize for food and must rely on a special relationship it bears with mycorrhizal fungi. The fungus grows with the plant's roots and allows it to attach to the roots of trees where it can propagate water and nutrients to the snow plant, while at the same time protecting it from pathogens. In return, the snow plant provides carbon to the fungi, making the relationship mutualistic. The snow plant is found in forests near Oregon and Northern California and only flower in order to reproduce. Huh, that's two plants located in Oregon and California that are both rather weird.
Number 6.
Genlisea. Found in semi-aquatic soils all over Southern America and Africa, Genlisea is also known as the corkscrew plant due to its specialized leaves and roots which allow it to capture prey. Again, virtually everyone knows about the Venus flytrap and how it utilizes a mechanism to trap flies and other insects to digest in order to give itself nutrients, but Genlisea do things a little differently. If you haven't noticed already, Genlisea is a genus of very small semi-aquatic plants with no noticeable way of capturing prey when simply looking at them on the surface. However, underneath the moist ground are specialized leaves that form a trap for microbes like protozoa that the plant digests for nutrients. The spiral pattern formed by the specialized leaves is thought to keep microbes trapped long enough to digest them. Not that microbes are really known for solving mazes in the first place. Genlisea are just another illustration of the fact that even the smallest of things can be efficient predators in nature.
Number 5.
The Jabu ticaba, or more specifically, the Plinia cauliflora. Apologies to any Portuguese-speaking viewers out there for butchering the pronunciation of Plinia cauliflora's nickname. I'll be sure to stick with the scientific name. Plinia cauliflora is a fruit-bearing tree belonging to the myrtle family, but for anyone who isn't from Brazil, this tree has a major difference from the usual fruit-bearing trees that you know of. Instead of forming flowers on its branches and then producing fruit like most other trees, Plinia cauliflora produces flowers and fruit on its trunk. The fruit have a black skin with a sweet white pulp on the inside with 4 oddly shaped seeds. It is purported that they are as common in Brazilian markets as grapes are in other places in the world, which is probably why it's also nicknamed the Brazilian grape tree. These trees are also kept as bonsai trees in a few places around the world. Not something I really expected.
Number 4.
The Cape Sundew. Part of the genus Drosera, Cape Sundew is a carnivorous plant that traps insects both large and small and digests them to provide itself with extra nutrients. A unique attribute to Cape Sundew is the fact that not only does it have leaf tentacles tipped with sweet sticky mucilage that attract and trap prey, but said tentacles actually curl up once prey come into contact with them in order to trap prey as tightly as possible. Cape Sundew is actually one of the easiest carnivorous plants to grow and keep alive indoors and is surely a good resource for cleaning up unwanted fruit flies. It is so good at growing that it is actually spreading as an invasive species in many parts of the world, including New Zealand, which hosts several endangered species of insects.
Number 3.
The water wheel plant. By this time in the video, I've mentioned Venus flytraps and how well known they are a few times. In spite of this, did you know that there is a plant that acts as an underwater version of the Venus flytrap? That's right, the water wheel plant is found all over the world in random areas of water except for the Americas and in places of extreme cold. They terrorize small underwater invertebrates by closing their traps in just 10 to 20 milliseconds, making it one of the fastest moving plants in the world. Not that it had very tough competition. On the inside of each little mouth-shaped trap are a few small hairs that must be moved to trigger the trap before digestive enzymes break down whatever small invertebrate has been trapped inside. The water wheel plant also floats near the surface of the water and does not grow roots, but instead continues to grow a stem while the other side dies. Unfortunately, the water wheel plant is growing more endangered as water sources become contaminated by human waste products and temperature changes.
Number 2.
The sensitive plant. Sporting a ridiculous amount of nicknames is Mimosa pudica, most commonly known as the sensitive plant. These fern-like plants are also called touch-me-nots due to the fact that they close their leaves and droop if brushed against or if coming into contact with fire. This is supposedly a defense mechanism to protect it against predators, though for some reason we humans seem to think that this adaptation is both interesting and cute, as it seems the plant is shy. Though native to South and Central America, because people seem to enjoy growing these plants, they are now a widespread invasive weed that is perforated throughout plant society in the exact same way shy anime lovers have done in human society, both shrinking away when prodded with touch.
Number 1.
Hydnora africana. Obviously found in Africa, as per the name, this parasitic plant actually combines the features of many unusual plants that exist today. Not only is it unable to photosynthesize and is a plant that must act as a parasite on the roots of other plants, but it also has a flower that smells absolutely terrible. After gathering enough nutrients for reproduction, it grows a large fleshy orange flower that resembles a split cantaloupe from underneath the ground, which produces a smell so wonderful that it attracts carrion and dung beetles. Yes indeed, its flower has the scent of fresh fecal matter and it is pollinated by beetles which feast on dung and animal corpses. Obviously an attractive flower that any decent gardener would want.